We are live. I'm with the Venezuelan vixen herself. Man, impressive performance yesterday for someone who doubts herself. You sure looked pretty confident again when you got in the cage.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Talk about, the episode and the fight.
Um, the episode was pretty dramatic, and the fight was pretty good. I like to finish my fights, and so I was just looking for the kill, and when the opportunity was there, I took it. So it was a good fight, and I'm just happy that I made it and I advanced to the finals. That was the objective of going on the show. That was the whole purpose, and so I reached that, and it's on to the next one. I still got my eyes on the prize.
It was pretty crazy seeing all the lead up to the show. To the fight was a lot of exactly what happened, except I guess it seemed like more of a sprawl and brawl type of tactic maybe, but you ended up being comfortable on top or whatever. But the guillotine and all that stuff where you finished, it was pretty. Was that really a lot of stuff that you really worked on specifically? They have so much footage of you, so we don't know if that's just kind of something that since it happened, they throw in, or was that really like a focus?
Yeah, Brian wanted to work a lot of guillotines, and so that was our main focus. That's what we worked on, and it was just really weird how we worked on it a whole bunch, and then I ended up hitting it. So it was I was in the right place at the right time, and everything lined up, and the stars aligned. So it was perfect. I nailed it, and I executed my game plan to a T.
Did you feel her sort of weakening or maybe breaking her will at all while you were on top?
Dana said, that it was a super ballsy move to go for the choke, but I know that I wouldn't have gone for the choke if I wouldn't have 110% felt it in my hands. So I would have never pulled guard on a guillotine like that if I had a doubt, that I wasn't going to get it or not, if it was like a Hail Mary type of move, and it absolutely was not. I knew I had it, and I knew that it was super, super deep. A lot of people are like, oh, she tapped you quick, it wasn't deep, and blah, blah, blah. No, it was sunk in as deep as it could go. You couldn't get any deeper. She wasn't getting out, and I wouldn't have hit the guillotine if I wouldn't have been 110% confident that it was going to be a game ender, and it was.
And talk about the drama and the separation that you were feeling in the house.
It's hard because, like, I knew in the very beginning they accused me leaking the matchups. I beat Shayna, and they weren't happy about that, and, I tried my best to get along with people. Some people are saying, oh, I was vulgar and this and that, and I just think it's funny because they were vulgar. They talked about all sorts of stuff, and I didn't say anything, and, I just felt like I was getting ganged up on a little bit. I feel like they were so focused on what I was doing and watching me like a hawk instead of what they were doing and what they could do, and so my objective is not to come into the house and make best friends with everybody, My objective is not to get, this long-lasting bonding friendship with all these people. If they would have warmed up to me and stuff like that, that would have been great, I'm still in contact with Holdsworth. I'm still in contact with Roxanne, the people that were genuine and real. But otherwise, they didn't like me, and I wasn't going to sit there and twist their arm trying to get them to like me. I wasn't going to focus my attention on them and trying to get them to, be my friend. If they don't like me, then that's that. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I wasn't there to make friends. I was there to punch people in the face, and so, there's nothing I can do.
We already saw your friendship with Chris sort of earlier in the season. Did it grow stronger considering he kind of felt the same separation, it seemed like?
Basically, whatever Chris did, I did. If Chris went on a run, I went on a run. If Chris swam laps, I swam laps. If Chris jumped rope 3.5s, I jumped 3.5s. Like, I tried to. I know that he's such a great athlete, and he trains with such a great camp, and he has such a great work ethic, and I have a great work ethic too, and I knew that, that we would both say to each other, we're winning the season, you heard it here first, and so we kind of channeled that together and kind of went through the process together while everybody was kind of talking crap about us. We kind of just did our own thing, and I think that it worked out for us in the end.
Do you feel like you've overcome those jitters that you talked about, and the not being able to believe in yourself and your skill set at this point? Because obviously you have the biggest fight coming up in front of a large audience, and
yeah, I've never fought in such a grand stage before. You're fighting in the most prestigious fight organization in the world, and to be set on such a stage is probably, it's going to be, a lot of pressure for me, but I can't focus on any of that. I can't focus on, being in front of a crowd of thousands and thousands of people, or being on the biggest card I've ever fought on. When it comes fight time, I'm going to zero in. I'm not going to, focus on anybody like I did in the house, and I'm just going to, get straight down to business like I was doing in the house, because after all, that's what needs to happen. The person who's more business oriented, the person who's more ready is the one who's going to win. And, I'm just doing everything to prep my mind and stuff like that. The house helped me with my confidence as far as, getting wins over 3 tough girls. And, it's not to say that, like, I completely think that I suck, it's just I am aware that there's holes in my game, and I'm aware that, there's a lot of room to grow, and that there's a lot of knowledge that, I still am, desiring to learn and stuff like that. And so I'm just, I just want to keep training hard and, keep learning, obviously. But as far as, like, confidence goes and stuff like that, like, I know in my head what I believe, but it's not important to, continue to talk and boast about myself, or think that, I'm this great, this big-time fighter. I'm human just like anybody else. I've had losses. Every dog has its day, and when it comes down to the fight, may the best woman win. And so, anything can happen in there, and I'm well aware of that. It's not that I think that I suck. It's just to say that I know exactly what's riding on the line, and I know that there's a 50-50 chance of me winning and a 50% chance of me losing. So I take those odds very seriously, and I take my fights very seriously. And so if people say, oh, they're not scared, or they're not insecure and stuff like that, they're lying. Because that at the end of the day.
What has changed? What has changed though for you when you're in the cage? I mean, that's obviously a good thing to know that there's holes and things to work on. But even before you went on the show, you talked to me about this, and what has changed to allow you to be so confident actually in the cage? Excuse me.
I don't think anything's changed. I'm a tough girl, and I can hang with any 135er girl in the world. So that's the bottom line. Any girl that I come across, I'm gonna be able to get locked in the cage with, and put on a show. So it's not that anything's changed. It's just to say that I'm not gonna let some girl come in the cage and think that she's better than me, and then I'm gonna fight like hell and or die trying, and do what I have to do in order to win. Whatever it takes is my motto.
Why didn't you get Ronda's shirt? Why didn't you get a cut shirt?
She was really nasty to me. There were times, I remember the whole, I don't know if they're going to play that. I don't know if I can talk about that. Anyways, she tried to, like, yell at me in the gym one day, and I was like, whatever, you're dumb. But I got the vibe that it was guilty by association, because I know Misha, and because I've trained with Misha in the past. She told me right away, you were last on my list. I wasn't going to pick you because you knew Misha. I wasn't going to, pick you on my team. And I understand that, if it were me, I probably would have done the same thing. But, there were times where I would be making food, and Ronda's team would be in the kitchen, and I would step outside because, I didn't really care to hang out with them, or they're not talking to me, so I would just go do my own thing outside. And when I came back in, like, my chicken is now, like, on fire, the broil's on high, they changed the settings on the oven, and the whole thing's smoking up, and, they were just doing, like, rude stuff like that to me. And so I was like, I think it's really cool that she can make those shirts, but it's not like I was dying to get one. I can poke a hole in a shirt any day of the week, and call it good, and tie knots in it. It's not, that big of a deal. And I just didn't even want to approach her with something like that, just because she was so rude to me, and her teammate like Marina and stuff like that, they were so rude to me that I just didn't even care to associate myself with them. I think that that's great that she came over and was cutting up the shirts, but for me, it didn't really, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't tickle my fancy. I wasn't interested.
For this season of The Ultimate Fighter, we're seeing a high level in terms of, especially the women, in terms of them being able to come right into UFC and potentially compete for a title rather quickly. Whereas in a lot of Ultimate Fighter seasons, you have guys that are a little more green, they need to work their way up and whatnot and get a lot more experience. Do you feel that way, and do you feel like you can compete against the Ronda Rouseys of the division?
Yeah, like I said before, I believe that I can hang with any 135er in the world, and any 135er female in the world, and so, like I said before, yeah, of course there's room to grow, and there's things to learn, and I'm still green as a fighter. I'm young, I haven't been training judo since I was 3 years old. I didn't go to the Olympics. I never wrestled in high school. I just kind of got started in an MMA gym and just have gone from there, just trying to put some bread on the table. So of course that there's room to grow, and of course I still am very green, but I'm eager to showcase my skills, and I'm eager to get in the cage, and I'm eager to, put on a show and to prove why women deserve to be in the UFC.
You're obviously deep in the camp right now for the fight in the finals, and we can't talk about who you're fighting or anything like that, but talk about your prep. Dang, look at those guns. Show those again when you're talking here. Jesus, making me look bad. But,
yeah, no, I am deep into camp for sure.
Yeah, talk about how you've been preparing and what you've been doing to get ready for this massive fight.
I've just been training every day diligently like a dog since I've got home from the show. Oh, Spence has got some guns on him.
I'm in the off season right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been training since I got home, and I've just been working every day. Sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes 2 times a day. Every day I'm working though, and every day I'm dog tired, and hard work pays off, and I believe that. And I just got done doing some hot yoga. I'm getting ready to go to practice here in a couple of minutes, at 8, and so. I'm always working, and I wasn't lying when I after I finished my fight against Sarah, and I said, this is the first day of the rest of my life. The hard work is just starting, and even after this fight, I'm not going to be satisfied until I have that belt around my waist, and so whatever it takes.
Did you visualize though where you're at back in April when we were hanging out just days before you went to the tryouts?
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. Me, you, and Joseph.
Good old Joe Henley.
Yep, Joe Henley. He's awesome. I love him.
Did you envision it though? Did you foresee where you're at right now?
In my head, yes, of course, but I would never say something like that out loud. Mm-hmm. At the time.
Yep. Well, cool. Definitely looking forward to the next couple episodes, or what is there? Only one more episode, I guess. No, 2. Right? They're gonna do 1 and 1, I think.
2, maybe 2 for sure. 2 for sure. Maybe another one after. I'm not quite sure.
Cool. Well, we'll all be out here in Vegas the day after Thanksgiving. I guess no turkey for you, right? You're gonna have to.
Turkey, yes. Mashed potatoes, no.
Yep. When are you gonna get into town? I guess that'll be.
The 26th, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
all right, cool. Anything
hopefully
else
Dana gets like some Thanksgiving dinner deal done for like the UFC fighters or something like that. Because I'm gonna be sad like eating Thanksgiving in a hotel room.
Yeah, well, you can eat Friday, of course, as well after you weigh in, I suppose.
That's right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And then carb up.
Yeah.
One more thing that I noticed. Dana was when Sarah was kind of crying. She's like, "Give me a chance." And Dana looked like a fish out of water. Like he's used to if someone cries, being like, "Yeah, right," like forget this. But with that, he kind of didn't know how to react because it's a female. Did you notice that? Did you feel that throughout the show?
Yeah. He's kind of like awkward. Leave me alone, please. Give Get away from me. You're making me feel bad. You're getting blood on my suit, girl. Back up.
You could tell he like wanted to hug her but didn't, yeah, because she was bleeding from it and everything, so he kind of backed up.
No, you know what? Bottom line, Moras is a champ, and she's as tough as they come. And, you know, I got nothing but mad respect for her.
Did it feel better, though, considering you're avenging a loss, than it would be just beating somebody?
Absolutely. I had no business losing to her in the first place. I had no business taking the fight on short notice up a weight class after I had just got hit by a car and got my nose broke, you know. So, you know, I was happy to have avenged a loss, you know. That loss really broke me and pretty much put me in a hole for a really long time just because, you know, I'm a sore loser. I don't like to lose. And, you know, I pretty much was like, I quit after that, you know. But I'm glad that I didn't, and I'm glad that I got to rematch her and to avenge my loss.
Awesome. Well, anything else you want to say before we let you get off to practice here?
No, follow me on @VenezuelanVixen on Twitter, Instagram, like my Facebook fan page, Julianna at VenezuelanVixen.com. Or wait, no, I don't have a .com. Julianna, the Venezuelan Vixen Peña, that's my Facebook fan page. And I want to thank my sponsors, Jim Hansen, Discount Lumber, Spikes, Phillies and More, and Rhino Rush. I'm wearing my Rhino Rush shirt.
I was wondering what that
Rhino
was.
Rush represent. Yeah, that's one of my sponsors, and so yeah, I just want to thank everybody that's gotten behind me and supported me. You know, if you love me, I love you, and you know, I'm just super blessed and super grateful for the opportunity, and I thank you for taking the time out to interview me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for coming on again, and if we don't talk to you before, we will see you on Fight Week.
That's right.
And have some turkey or something.
All right. I'll see you later, Spence.
All right. Later. Thanks.
Bye-bye. See you later.